Now about the economic calendar, okay, I actually use the app investing, okay. So I use the app investing is investing.com, okay. So it's actually free and it's available on Play Store and as well iOS, okay. So this is how we implement or rather we make use of it, okay. Now this is the app. Sorry, they have ads and the rest. Okay, so now on the downside right here, you can see we have calendars, we have dips, and we have markets, we have watch lists and more. Okay, so now the market is actually for your pairs. Okay, this is actually for the pairs you want to check indices, futures, stocks, commodities, and the rest. Okay, but that's not the actual purpose of this video. Okay, so now what you want to pay attention to is the calendars. Okay, so once you click on the calendars, you'll see an option above here. Okay, economic calendar. Okay, as you can see at the top left hand, you can see the economic calendar. You can see the option of days. Okay, you have yesterday, you have today, you have tomorrow, and you have this week. Okay, scrolling more, you can as well see that we have next week. Okay, so how do we make use of this? Okay, so once we are on a weekend, what you actually want to do, because today is Saturday, as you can see we have the date right there, Saturday April 23. Okay, so and we are currently on a weekend, right? So what I want to do is that I'm going to scroll to the one of next week. Okay, that is if you like to watch it pre-hand, like you want to take notes of the economics event pre-hand, okay, prior to the new week. Okay, so you actually click on the next week option. Okay, so now this is the news for Sunday April 24, right? We have Monday April 25. Okay, so now as you can see on Sunday is just two news: IMF meetings, fresh presidential elections, and so forth. Okay, so now what I'm going to draw your attention to, this is the fundamental economic calendar for on Monday, April 25th. Okay, so now what I want to pay your attention, draw your attention to are actually these bull heads that are at the left side of it. Okay, these bull heads that are the left side of the screen. Okay, close to the pairs. Okay, so what I want you to pay attention to now is the fact that when you see uh a single bullhead like this, it means the news is not much very important. It means the news has a low impact. Okay, it has a low impact. And when you come across the ones of having two head bulls, as you can see there, it means it has a medium impact. Okay, it's not very much, but it has a medium impact. Okay, so but when you come across the ones of having three head bulls like this, means it's very important. Okay, and this one and this particular this particular uh economic news will likely drive price. Okay, will likely drive price. Okay, so your attentions are focused on the ones having the three bull heads. Okay, the ones having the three bull heads, and it's coming around 9 o'clock. Okay, now I want to draw your attention to something else. When is our what's it called, when do we start hunting for our kill zones? Okay, when do we start hunting for our kill zones? This actually is on New York time. Okay, the time you are seeing here is on New York time. Okay, so now for on Monday, remember we start our hunting from 2 a.m. London key zone from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. right, and we start our hunting for New York key zone between 7 to 11 or 10. Okay, so now I want you to pay attention to when this news was released. Okay, this news was released rather when this news is going to be released, the time factor, I want you to pay attention to the time factor. Okay, this is 9 o'clock, right? 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and the news is having three head bulls, so it means it's going to be relevant, it's going to affect volatility, it's going to cause volatility in the marketplace. Okay, so now, and this is going to happen during our Q zone. So what the importance of this is that this helps us rather to get in sync fundamentally or to have uh the how am I going to put it, the time of the day. I think this has to do with the time of the day, right? Because now, as we can see here, this is during our New York, our London, no, sorry, our New York section Q zone. Okay, so this news is going to be released during our New York Q zone, and if we get and if we are on the right side of the trend, it is going to actually create volatility in the marketplace and causing movement on the marketplace. So if we are on the right side of it, we are going to the benefit of it is that it's going to create movement for us. Okay, so combining this factor uh with trading, okay, because this is why our key zone is focused on this is actually why ICT key zones is focused on certain times of the day because of fundamental driven news. Okay, as you can see, we have the three head is released, should be is going to be released around 9 a.m. Although I don't trade on Monday. Okay, so we pay more attention to uh the ones that have three heads. Okay, so this is on Tuesday. Okay, so you can see this is on Tuesday, and the one that is going to be released that has three head high importance is around 1:30, right? And when do we start trading our afternoon session? We'll start trading our afternoon session, we'll start hunting for our afternoon session trade between 1 to 4:30, right? So when is this news going to be released? Around 1:30. And if we are in sync with the trend, the directional bias, what should this create for us? It should create volatility for us, right? So that is why ICT certain time of the day is actually built around uh, economic driven news, right? So as you can see, the time of the day that this news is going to be released is on around 1:30, right? It's going to be released around 1:30. So and there's going to be another that is uh that is being released around 3 o'clock. Okay, it's another high impact news to be released around 3 o'clock. So let's say between 1 o'clock to 1:30 we are unable to get an entry. Okay, and let's say we got our entry around 3 o'clock and we are on the right side of the trend. Okay, the movement where this should create volatility for us. Okay, this should create volatility for us. So these are news that you want to think uh you want to take note of. Okay, these are fundamental driven news that you want to take note of. So I want to draw our attention to this. So when is the time for this news to be released? On Wednesday, 2:30. Okay, and when do we start hunting for our London session key zone? 2 o'clock a.m. right? So this is what, so as you can see, this is why our Q zones are focused around 30 times of the day. In other words, our acquisition are focused around certain time of the day in order to be backed up by fundamental analysis. Okay, even though, so what you want to do, you want to check your weekly calendar on your every week, on every weekend. Okay, so now today's news is already out. Okay, so it was yesterday. So the previous day's news, which was on Friday, you can see it. Okay, you can see high impact news was released around 7 a.m. Okay, when do we start hunting for our 7 a.m. When do we start hunting for our New York session key zone? It's around 7 a.m. And mind you, the news is about the Great British Pounds. Okay, so each news is going to affect the currency in front of it greatly. Okay, so this news retail sales is going to affect the Great British Pounds. Okay, so now how do we interpret the news? Let's see. Okay, so this is the United Kingdom retail sales that was released on Friday, right? So the importance, as you can see here, the release date 2207. Okay, so I don't actually trade the, I'm just going to show us, I'm just trying to point out the fact on why we have certain times of the day. Okay, why our setups, our key zones are framed around certain times of the day. Okay, so this is one of the reasons, and this is one of the reasons why we have our key zones focused on certain times of the day, because this helps us, to get in sync with the news release that is going to create volatility. So the volatility is going to be created by this news, by this event release, uh, uh, where our key zones are focused around certain times of the day. Okay, so that is how to implement uh, the weekly economic calendar. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to go through your the news release on every trading week. Okay, so that you take notes of the time of the day that is going to be released. Okay, like this news is going to be released around 1:30 GDP. Okay, initial jobless claim around 1:30. Okay, so all these news are creating volatility in the marketplace. Okay, so that is that for that, and I hope I have been able to. So you can actually get this app. It's free and there are more features inside, but this is just what I wanted to share with us. Okay, so thank you for staying with us. Do have a great day.